Good afternoon, Abbotsford residents. I'm Mr. Pelican. I'm running for your mayorship here in Abbotsford to forensic audit the city books on the insider trading. Thanks to Henry's son, the economic development officer, opening his mouth, I took it to the best, the RCMP. Knowing from Henry's son, his dad controlled the top of the police through Mike Sir, Keelan Olenoff, and all the threats. It was a vicious mob controlling Abbotsford for their financial gain and their friends. I did a video the other day I showed you with Yuri Fuller, and I'm endorsing him to be your BC Conservative choice to lead the BC Conservatives. Why did I endorse him so heavy? I see him taking on the whole establishment of the Liberals all by himself. And I recognize that with Abbotsford residents, how hard it was as Abbotsford and myself took on Henry Braun in the Abbotsford Police and Ed Fast and Mike DeYoung when our houses got knocked down the mountain. And the stuff we had to go through. And I see him fighting that. I see the alliance with Dallas Brody, putting BC first and putting you first, showing that the establishments and the rich elites in the back won't control him. He said that you have till Wednesday night till midnight to get out and get verified and get signed up and get behind him. Let's do that. Let's change BC and make sure that now everything that the establishments were holding from provinces to province get investigation. I want to elaborate. You've been asking me on this piece of property, and some of you don't understand, and some of you said I spoke too fast, but the bureaucrats and the establishment do, but for the common person, I'm going to show you that. This is Tracy Road, a piece of property here on Tracy Road. This piece of property, let me clarify, it is owned by Andy Sidhu, the Capritra newspaper, the chancellor of UFV, Dave Sidhu's dad, and Dave Sidhu's a sitting council. Dave Sidhu ran Ross Siemens and Abbotsford First. They were all slates with Mark Warkentine, all as one. Whatever they vote on this benefits insider trading, and it's them to do it. They have to sustain themselves from any of the votes, only allowing Les Markman to vote. They figured that if they could steal this out the door and then get out, we won't be charged. What they did is they got a significant lift by selling it to the Vanderpool's Vitalis for $25 million and using Pamela Alexis, which was tied to Henry. She was pulling stuff out and doing proposals. I showed you Riverside coming soon under a proposal without hearings and rushing it for Henry Braun. And this is why I showed you Brad Viss. All of them are tied into this establishment and this mob in Abbotsford. That is why I'm adamant about bringing the RCMP and these threats. And he got a $25 million lift, a significant lift. In return, Andy Sidhu had to take something for Henry and do something. They needed Ross and establishment so bad. I knew that Andy Sidhu would block at UFB, a democratic process, and threaten. Andy wheeled me into his office and said my shithole son did it, Dave Sidhu, Mr. Pelican, to load Ross Siemens and his buddies of Abbotsford First. Making it clear to the people that you can't block in an election, you can't do it at all, or loss of opportunity on my behalf. But I was running because the RCMP wanted to see them blocking because it was about their gain. Andy Sidhu never issued an apology or nothing. Now comes Abbotsford First to vote on it. Then they lobbied Nicole Reid of Community Futures, which is a federal grant from Pacific Can, $5 million, and she's a sitting Chilliwack City Council in here too. This is insider trading. This is why the Abbotsford police have been threatening me, trying to run me off the road, and I showed you it all. This is why Mike Sir fled. They were controlling the top of the police. But this insider trading has to come back to this. Why we want Yuri Fuller and Dallas Brody is, what was David Eby getting off of this? Because David Eby knows, being a lawyer, that the city council, Dave Sidhu and his dad, owned this, rewarding the $25 million. Also, and councils are voting for it, gives Dave Sidhu a lift, and it's insider trading, it's collaborating. And none of them should have been on it, not even Ross. And I showed you this is why Vicky hopes, and none of them read that stories. You can't be on it and you can't have it. But this is what they were going to get in return. And I showed you Vitalis is a multi-billion-dollar company out of Alberta, and it doesn't need corporate handouts, period. But let me tell you how this went down. Now, Darren Brown was being shunned and being kicked, so I couldn't get all the information, but I could piece it together for you. In return, this is what they said to Vitalis. You buy the land, you're out, and you give a significant lift to Andy and Dave Sadu for all the stuff they did, the election, and the South Asians, to get the votes. And in return, we'll get David Eby through Pam to give you $25 million so you're not out anything on the building. It's free money. Then we'll get Nicole Reid of Community Futures, a sitting city council that can't help Chilliwack, and she'll put it in here and you get all your money back. Vitalis didn't need this money, and the farmers got nothing. But what am I doing here today? Dave Sadu is going to be coming to you, and he's going to be coming pounding on your doors for votes and dump trucks of loads of money to get behind Ross Siemens. And he's going to be behind there asking for Ian Black or Peter Mellibard or Caroline Elliott, the establishment is. I want the South Asians to see this and tell you there is only one way. You need to vote Conservative Uri Fuller, and he will put a stop to this, and he'll bring it up in the ledge with Dallas Brody. What is David Eby getting out of the back? He knows it's insider trading, and the mayor should be under investigation. This is why the Abbotsford police have been threatening me. Henry was ordering them all. And this is why I said there is so much grease here from Ross Siemens and Dave Sadu and all these involved, that Paul Wanker and Colin Watts can't even come down here on the John Deere tractor because they'll slide off the road and flip upside down. I'm asking all my South Asians, did you think this was fair when you faced fines and this lift came into this man and he's a city council? Do you think it's fair on many farms where thousands of dollars were given fines on dump truck guys parked in their yards, and many farms was to incorporate money off an illegal access and legal facility, running this facilities on many farms, and went out and bought more? We need somebody like Uri Fuller and Dallas Brody at the helm. These guys were unloading their pockets, but what we need in Abbotsford is the RCMP, and I'm pushing hard to get that very, very hard. And you're going to see the establishment with Vicky Hopes trying to protect the Abbotsford police. So I'm live today on Tracy Road here in Abbotsford beside the King Haven Treatment Center that hid the alcohol in the back of the toilet so Henry could get Mill Walker them grants. And I'm here. And I would tell Paul Walker, this is why I want you and Colin Watts kicked out of Abbotsford and ripped apart. You're attacking politicians that know that if this gets out in the general public, this is why probably David Eby handpicked Colin Watts to come into Abbotsford and said, I need this caught. I need this stopped so it doesn't come up the back doors to Dallas Brody and these other people and flash me. This needs to be hauled off the table immediately. And Vitalis needs to answer to Abbotsford and to every community and needs to be watched of what they're doing to mayors. But I'm asking the South Asians today, you need a change, you need help. This was unfair to you when you suffered through the floods, the groves, the blueberries, and everything else. And look at old Dave Sadu. He's going to be saying, Uncle, please, Uncle, we need you to get behind Ian Black or Peter Mellibard. Please, Uncle. We need to call a spade and a diamond. And you need to start putting yourself first. Same with my farmers. And you need to be a voice and not listen to them. I'm live, Abbotsford, British Columbia.